Hi. I am recording this today because, well, yesterday I spent my day thinking about death, suicide. Was I suicidal? I don't think so. As a matter of fact, I know I wasn't. But the thing is, it wouldn't leave my mind. And this isn't the first time that's happened in a while. It's been several months that I keep these thoughts come in. And it's not like there's a lot of trauma and drama around it. It's just kind of being with that whole idea of what would it be like to die? And, what would happen if I was gone tomorrow or today? And I just got to realizing more and more that this has happened to me, that these thoughts don't belong to me. It's like I am this little sponge picking up all of these emotions of all of these people around me whose worlds are just like the wheels are coming off the bus kind of thing. And so I wanted to talk about what I did yesterday to try to get through that. And maybe it'll help somebody else. So I have obviously a nice home. I have a nice life. But I have been like so shut down. The whole COVID thing. I used to travel a lot, and I used to see people from all over the world on a regular basis, and I love that. But that hasn't been my world for a year, and I'm really over it. I really am fucking over it. And then I've had blown my knee out twice in the last 5 months. Just had surgery a few days ago. That doesn't help. Just saying. I just really I'm tired of the fact that I'm not creating, that I'm not being with people that I enjoy being with, and I'm not contributing. I am one of those people that I want to be something more for everybody. I want to be there to contribute to people when they get stuck. And here I am, the one that is in this quagmire up to my ears. And I'm going like, what the heck? How did I get here? What is this about? And so I'm sitting outside in this very nice, large backyard with all my big trees yesterday, feeling pathetic. I mean, I was having a flippin' pity party and wishing I was dead. What is that about? So, first of all, I want you just to ask yourself, truth, use that word, truth, body. Does this belong to me? And then feel what's going on in your body, your chest or your stomach. And you'll feel this like kind of feeling if it's a no. And if it's a yes, you'll feel like this gets lighter, like, hell yeah, that's mine. So, truth body, do those thoughts of death and dying belong to you? Truth body, do those thoughts of dying and death belong to somebody else? Well, if you came up with that they belong to somebody else, I want you just to uncreate and destroy all of that and return to centers. POC pod. POC is the point of creation where you first receive those thoughts into your body. Pod is the point of destruction where you believe that they belong to you and you let them start just disintegrating your being. Just that simple. Now, if it was light for you that yes, they belong to you, then let's take a look at the energy of that in your body. I want you just to look at you inside, and I want you to get a hold of that energy. When you think about you and why you are not worthy of living in that body and living on this planet anymore, and why you want to exit, I want you just to be with that. Be vulnerable enough to just be with that energy And now I want you to just say POC, P-O-C, pod, P-O-D, point of creation, point of destruction, everywhere that you had those thoughts, and those judgments, those ways that you have gotten yourself to this point with that energy of wanting to check out. I want you just to POC and pod it. You don't have to know the thoughts. You don't have to know the judgments. You don't have to know what words were said or anything else. I want you just to get a hold of that energy in your body. And I want you just to sound like a little popcorn maker and go pock pod, 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 pock pod. Pock pod, pock pod, pock pod, pock pod, pock pod, pock pod, pock pod. And keep doing that and just follow that energy. Now you should be feeling things moving around in your body, right? I'm doing this because I need to purge this crap too. We are doing this together. Pock pod, pock pod, pock pod, pock pod, pock pod, pock pod. And whose lies and judgments are these? Pock pod. 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 Pock pod, pock pod, pock pod, pock pod. Keep going. Do you feel it moving in there? Can you feel it's like there's this churning in your body? That's all of that energy starting to release in your body. So pock pod, pock pod, pock pod. Keep it going. You don't have to even say it out loud. You can just keep it going in your head and pock pod, pock pod, pock pod. The whole time that I'm talking, I want you to keep doing that. Pock pod, pock pod, pock pod. So what happens is that we listen to other people, and we do this our entire life. We listen to other people make comments. Maybe it's our parents, our siblings, our friends, neighbors, people that we went to school with, people we worked with that would make smart snide. Sometimes they were teasing, but not, the ones I'm talking about. And you believed all of those lies. You just tucked those away in your body, even though you pretended you didn't believe them. They stuck with you like this icky, sticky yuck that stuck to your body. And so just pock pod, keep pock potting, pock potting, pock potting, pock potting. So everything that you bought as real and true for you that isn't, can we uncreate, destroy it all? Pock pod, right? Keep pock potting. Now, what I was doing yesterday, as I sat there, I was just thinking, I went through this whole regimen of all of these judgments of me, how I don't follow through, I don't show up, I don't do this, I don't do that. I was so deep into what is wrong with me that I forgot all about what was actually right about me. I forgot to even acknowledge or give gratitude for what's right about me. Have you done that? Have you stopped judging yourself long enough to say, but I'm really good at this, and people really count on me for this, and I really like this about me, even though I hide it from everybody else. Why is it that you're hiding it? Why is it that you're judging yourself and making yourself the smallest possible denominator? Where did you cut off all of you? All of that magic and beautiful you. If you go back to you as a child, go back to you when you were like a toddler. Go back to you when you were an infant. Can you feel how different you were then? Do you know all of this crap doesn't even belong to you? It belongs to somebody else. It was all their judgments and points of view that got you to this point where you are right now. Doesn't belong to you. Why in the hell are you carrying it around and believing it? Well, that's the point I got to yesterday. It was like, what? I am one of the most powerful healers on this planet. I can play with energy with people's bodies anywhere in the world. And I'm sitting here in my backyard pretending I'm a pile of poop, a pathetic pile of poop. What is that about? Do you ever ask yourself that? So are you ready to purge that? Keep pocking and potting. Don't stop that. As you listen, pock, pod, pock, pod, pock, pod. You don't even need to know what it is, but you should be feeling your body getting lighter and lighter as you pock and pod, pock and pod, pock and pod, all of those judgments, all of that malign energy that you have got sitting in the middle of your body that is making you sick of yourself and of this life. Keep letting it go, pock and pod, pock and pod, pock and pod, pock and pod, pock and pod. So what I did next is I came inside and I screamed at the top of my lungs that I was done. I am simply done. Either this shit changes now or I am going to check out. If I cannot be all of me, if I cannot be the gift and the possibility for other people and for this planet, then what is the point, right? What is the point of hanging around? I don't know. So either I've got to like put on my big girl pants and step up and stop being so pathetic and hiding and start being vulnerable and just put myself out there. And I don't care. Write all of the shitty things you want in the comments because I am never going to read them. Write all the amazing things that you want in the comments. I'm still not going to read them. But if that does something for you to write those things down and get it out of your body, I invite you to do so. I invite you to take a look at yourself and say, what the fuck have I been doing to me? And how can I step up and be vulnerable enough to have my back and put myself out there and say, I demand that this changes now. Universe, show me something different. What else is possible now? Get over your fucking self and step up and be something different. You've got a choice. You don't have to sit there and look like everybody expects you to. What if you could be different? What if you could be more? What if you could actually step into an energy that lights you up that doesn't look like anything anybody's ever told you could do before? What if you did it simply because it made you happy? Simply because it touches that place inside of you that allows you to recognize and acknowledge and have gratitude for that unique gift that you are. Well, I'm not going to hide anymore. I'm purging all of this stuff. I am just done with hiding in the shadows and hoping people find me. I'm going to just step up there and I'm going to start clearing all of this junk off of me, because inside of you, inside of me, inside of every being, there is this beautiful, beautiful light that is so covered up by all of the judgments, the expectations, the projections, all of the definitions of what we have to look like and be like, all of the laws, all the rules, all of the blah. It is piled so deep and high that we can't even find that beautiful light that's inside of us. And when we do, we judge ourselves because it's not what they think it should look like. It doesn't fit into somebody else's points of view. What if you don't have to care what they think? What if you finally get to just be who you be with no apology, with no judgment, just total acceptance and gratitude for the difference that you are. So this is my challenge to you. I'm going to do a series of these videos, and I am going to address all kinds of things that I would like to purge. And you're welcome to come along with me on this journey. I'm just going to keep posting these videos, and you can watch them if you want. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. You get to choose. I really have no point of view whether you come along on the journey or not, because it's only for a few people. Not everybody's brave enough. Not everybody is willing to actually take a look at themselves and choose something different. But I'll tell you something else. Right now, it is going to be easier to change shit than it has ever been. You want to be something different? You know something else is possible? Then it is time to get on it. It's not hard. These tools are simple. How hard has it been to go pock pod, pock pod, pock pod? Check in with your body right now. How is it feeling? Do you actually have a little buzz of energy going in your chest? Are you feeling that lightness kind of moving up through your head and opening up a space around you? What would it take for that space to just keep expanding out and out and out? Well, I hope you look for me again, because this is all about purging. We are going to purge and purge and purge. And I hope you join me, because I feel so much better today than I did yesterday, and I can't wait to see what I create going forth. Thanks for joining me, and give yourself a swift kick in the ass to wake up, step up, be more of you, and start letting go of all of this pile of judgments and diminishments that you have bought. Uncreate, destroy it all, POC pod. See you soon.